gives us. There were some tips that we were basically putting on the back burner because they weren't pertinent to a manhunt. They weren't pertinent to a risk to public safety. Those tips can now be followed up. Of course, we don't. About 200 of those 225 left town, so we're a little bit shorthanded to follow up on all of them. But we're still talking with those federal and state partners that came down, and even though they've gone to their respective home bases, they're still looking into some of the leads that were generated on this, both in connection with this investigation and independent investigations that popped up as a result of their presence here.
So neighbors are saying that he has a 10-year-old kid.
Yes, sir.
Do we know where he is?
I have no information on, this is Mr. Oropeza and Nava's child. I have no information on where I believe the minor is at this time.
Okay. Have both parents been arrested?
That's correct, Miss. And excuse me for my faulty pronunciation, but Diva Mara Nava is in custody in the Montgomery County Jail right now, I believe, on a $250,000 bond. And Mr. Oropeza, as we've discussed, is here in a $7.5 million bond. So yes, both of the minor child's parents are in custody. Miss Nava? Okay, again, and this is kind of, I'll give you the lawyer answer, and that's it depends. It's going to depend on the facts that are involved in the case. As of today, my understanding is the facts that gave rise to her hindering occurred within the jurisdiction of Montgomery County. So if Ms. Nava was committing acts that constituted the offense of hindering apprehension of a felon in Montgomery County, the proper jurisdiction to prosecute her would be Montgomery County. As this investigation furthers, it may be that there were further acts committed in San Jacinto County. If it serves the ends of justice, we will look at initiating criminal proceedings and prosecution here. But sometimes it is it's just duplicative to file the same charge in two different counties. Long story told long, it will depend on the facts that we discover in the investigation. Yes, sir.
There's one thing that you want this community to know, especially the family and the survivors. What would that be? And then you'll also be looking for the death penalty.
Okay.
This suspect.
Well, I'm going to take that in two parts. Capital murder is something that none of us should take lightly. It should be something that should be based on the facts and based on the best interests of justice. That's not a decision we should make as a snap judgment. My office will be reviewing the files as they come in. Like I said, we're still collating evidence and making that decision. That will be a decision based on the facts and the evidence and what serves the best ends of justice. As to what I would say to the community, our strength is just that we're a community. And that's what made this case. Law enforcement working with the community. We're not enemies, we're friends. We're neighbors. And when we work together like this, when we understand that this is a person who is dangerous to the public, who has been responsible for a tragedy, that's our strength when we act together.
Does he ask for representation yet? And what's his mood? Is it remorseful? Have
Well,
you seen a change in attitude?
Well,
Behind the bars?
Well, one thing, it's inappropriate for a district attorney to question or have any contact with an accused person at this stage. So I cannot say neither myself nor my staff have had any contact with Mr. Oropeza. That's something we keep a kind of a firewall between the corrections officers and district attorneys. As far as I've received no letters of representation for Mr. Oropeza with my office, so I'm not aware of anybody representing him at this point.
The wife was magistrated this afternoon.
That's correct.
And it was revealed in her reading of her affidavit that she delivered a message to his cousins saying that he wanted to get to Mexico and they said no. Is that going to enhance any charges? Is that just part of your investigation? And is there any revelation of his
Sure.
plans to go to Mexico?
Well, I mean, like I said, that's an investigation that's pending over there in Montgomery County. So I don't know if that would necessarily, I'm not aware of any enhancements that fact pattern would necessarily bring. But that would be something that would be of interest moving forward on any hindering apprehension investigations we have here in San Jacinto County.
Sheriff, can we ask a quick question? Yes, sir. Sorry.
Any breaking news there?
Earth breaking.
On Sunday, you said that Miss Nava you had been communicating with her. I took it as she was being cooperative. Then we hear what was revealed today in the hearing. Was she playing both sides? What's your read on what she was doing?
Well, my read's really irrelevant. I have not personally talked to Miss Nava. So I was talking to people that were talking to her, listening to other conversations that were going on in the command center, and that was what I was hearing. That's what I was understanding. But yeah, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a social. So.
Was she trying to play both sides? Trying to appear cooperative with you guys and at the same time?
Once again, she was cooperative during one intel briefing that I was in, and then I mean I don't know about anything else. So.
How many children did they share?
Yes.
One of Orpesa, the woman, the aunt that lives on Summer Hollow.
Okay.
Have you all spoken to her? Or are you still looking for her? Would like to speak to her?
We have not, as far as the sheriff's office. I believe DPS-CID is maybe talking to her. Maybe the U.S. Marshals. I know Montgomery County is probably talking to her for some reason. And I did have a chance to interview, or not interview, but I asked the suspect, and he told me that he spells his name with a Z. So just to put that to bed. But that's the way he spells it, and we've got a document with S on it, or whatever.
Apparently there are several animals at his house. Is there any plan to rescue them if there's no one to take care of them?
I didn't know he had animals at the house, but that's news to me. But yes, I will get our animal control guy over there. Yes, sir. Just to double verify.
This is a question for the DA.
Okay.
Do you anticipate any additional charges for Castilla beyond the marijuana charge?
We're kind of early on in an investigation phase. There are several. there are several. He is a target of several investigations, but I cannot comment on it until those are probable cause findings made. Okay.
Does your office plan to look at how Oropesa is someone who has been deported from the U.S. and returned to the U.S. at least 4 times?
I think for our purposes that would be relevant merely for bond hearings. That he may be a flight risk, that may be relevant. As to his culpability in the case, it's not really pertinent to that. It's only a bond issue whether he's a flight risk.
How many children did they share? Oropesa?
My understanding is one.
Yes, I believe so.
One is what I'm aware of.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. And y'all check our Facebook, San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office. And once again, the offer still stands there for, we are hiring.
How much you paying, Sheriff? I'll come work for you.
And FBI and federal, are they still involved in like nitty-gritty details of whatever you guys need to button up?
There's some investigations they're wrapping up.
Yeah. We're still a team. We're still in contact. I've spent a lot of time today on the phone, and they're like, "Hey, I hope you're getting rest." I'm like, "Well, what if you quit calling me?" But anyhow, yeah.
How are the people in the airplane? I heard one was airlifted,
Yes, sir.
but no casualties.
No.
Good.
No
Not
fatalities.
at this point.
Yeah.
It was a student driver, and then he took back over because the left side got heavier than the right side, and there was a problem, and they hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
But they're both okay, or at least for when I was. Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. Any more pressers after this? Or?
This is pretty much it, guys. That's why we were saying, at the point we've done magistration, the next clock is at 90 days. So we're a very hospitable county. You are more than welcome to hang out, but you're gonna be kind of bored, But any other, we've been trying. My office has been trying to field questions the best we can. We try to be open about the things that we can talk about. You're more than welcome to contact me. At the point where sheriff's in an investigative phase, and there's not a public danger